So, this is the Blue Eyes deck I've been using in Ranked, and it's taken me from Gold 5 to Plat 1 this season. I actually got to Plat 1 last season with this deck as well, although it was still being improved and modified at the time. I will be splitting this video into two parts. This short video quickly going over the deck list with a brief overview on how it works, and a second breakdown video where I go in depth into how the cards can interact and why certain cards are and aren't in the deck. So, here's the deck list. 3 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon, 2 copies of Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. If both Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon are in your hand, you can special summon Blue Eyes Alternative. Once per turn, Blue Eyes Alternative allows you to destroy one monster, but you cannot attack with that copy of Alternative that turn. This is a soft once per turn, meaning that you can use this effect once for every copy of Alternative on your field. 1 copy of Dragon Spirit of White. When Dragon Spirit of White is summoned, you can banish 1 spell or trap on the field. 3 copies of Nebula Dragon. Activating Nebula Dragon's effect will allow you to special summon itself and another level 8 dragon from your hand, quickly setting up a rank 8 Xyz play. However, once you use this effect, you will only be able to summon light and dark dragons for the rest of the turn. Note that you cannot special summon Alternative this way, because Alternative must first be special summoned using the summoning conditions listed on the card. 3 copies of the Whitestone of Ancients. The Whitestone of Ancients is a level 1 tuner, so you can combine it with a level 8 monster to synchro summon a level 9 synchro monster. During the end phase of the turn it was sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck. In this case, either Blue Eyes White Dragon or Dragon Spirit of White. While it's in the graveyard, preferably not the turn it was sent, you can banish it to return any Blue Eyes monster from the graveyard to your hand. 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue. Sage with Eyes of Blue is useful for synchro plays, as it is a level 1 tuner. If you normal summon it, you can search a level 1 light tuner from the deck, in this case the Whitestone of Ancients, and add it to your hand. You can also activate Sage from the hand to tribute one of your effect monsters and special summon a Blue Eyes monster from the deck. A great target to tribute would be the Whitestone of Ancients. 1 copy of Star Liege Seifert. Star Liege Seifert allows you to discard a dragon to the graveyard and search a dragon from your deck with the same level. So, if you have a bricked hand, such as 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons, you can discard one of them to add a Blue Eyes Alternative or a Nebula Dragon to your hand. When Star Liege Seifert is in the graveyard, you can banish it to return any level 8 light or dark dragon from the graveyard to your hand. We also have some Kaijus in our deck. 3 copies of Gameciel, the Sea Turtle Kaiju, and 2 copies of Gadarla, the Mystery Dust Kaiju. You can special summon these to your opponent's side of the field by tributing any monster they control, which is quite useful. While your opponent controls a Kaiju, you can special summon another Kaiju to your side of the field from your hand. Both Gameciel and Gadarla are level 8. For spells, we have 3 copies of Trade-In. This allows us to discard a level 8 monster to draw 2 cards. Our Kaijus are level 8, so if you don't need them, feel free to trade them in. 3 copies of the Melody of Awakening Dragon. This allows us to discard any card to search out 2 dragons with 3,000 or more attack and 2,500 or less defense. For this deck, you will typically use this to add both Blue Eyes and Blue Eyes Alternative to your hand. This has synergy if you discard the Whitestone of Ancients as cost. 1 copy of Monster Reborn. This card is a fantastic extender for progressing your plays. Finally, we have our hand traps and generic staples. 3 copies of Max C. You can activate it from your hand, and for the rest of the turn, you draw a card every time your opponent special summons a monster. As a general rule, chain it to any effect that special summons a monster, unless you know your opponent will special summon without starting a chain, such as link summoning. 3 copies of Lightning Storm and 3 copies of Evenly Matched. if you have no face-up cards, you can activate Lightning Storm to either destroy all of your opponent's back row, or destroy all of your opponent's attack position monsters. At the end of either player's battle phase, you can activate Evenly Matched to have your opponent banish cards that they control face down until they control the same amount of cards as you. If you control no cards, you can activate this from your hand, which you should almost always do. This deck doesn't have very much field presence, so these are perfect for removing back row. And everything else. 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. If you control no cards, you can activate it from your hand to negate one monster on the field. Unlike monster hand traps such as Effect Veiler, Infinite Impermanence is a trap card, and thus is very difficult to negate on the first turn. If used on the right monster at the right time, you can completely ruin your opponent's combo. However, this requires you to be familiar with your opponent's decks and where the choke points are in their combo, so be advised that the skill ceiling for using this card is reasonably high. Moving on to the extra deck. As we saw in the main deck, we have access to level 9 Synchros and rank 8 Xyz monsters. The only level 9 Synchro monster in this extra deck is Blue-Eye Spirit Dragon. Once per turn, Blue-Eye Spirit Dragon can negate an effect in the graveyard, similar to Skullmeister. This can be used to negate graveyard effects such as Sky Striker Ace Ray or Eldritch the Golden Lord. It also has a Floodgate effect, where neither player can special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time. This Floodgate effect doesn't come up very often, but it does hinder certain things such as Tri-Brigade Revolt, Numeron Calling, and Pendulum Summoning. Finally, just like Dragon Spirit of White, it can tribute itself to special summon a monster. Blue-Eye Spirit Dragon in particular can special summon any Light Dragon Synchro monster from your extra deck in defense position, but it will be destroyed during the end phase. The other 2 Synchro monsters in this extra deck are special summon targets for Spirit Dragon. Stardust Spark Dragon's effect allows it to protect 1 card from destruction once per turn, so it can protect itself from Spirit Dragon's lingering effect. It's also level 8, which means you can use it for rank 8 Xyz plays. Michael, the Arc Lightsworn, allows you to, once per turn, pay 1,000 life points to banish 1 card on the field. Occasionally there will be times where this banish is necessary to close out the game or remove a floodgate. For Xyz monsters we have number 97, Draglubion. This allows you to special summon a number dragon monster with 1 material, but for the rest of the turn you cannot special summon, and you can only attack with that monster. You can mitigate this drawback by using this effect during the main phase 2. However, a monster that would be worth special summoning during main phase 1 would be number 100, Numeron Dragon. You can detach 1 material, it gains 1000 attack per rank on the field. With Draglubion being rank 8 and Numeron Dragon being rank 1, Numeron Dragon will gain at least 9000 attack, which, in the right circumstance, can OTK. This is one of the deck's win conditions. When Numeron Dragon can OTK, summon it, and attack for game. We also have number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, a 4000 attack beatstick that can gain 200 attack per rank of all monsters on the field, for a minimum of 5600 attack. However, number 62 always deals half battle damage. Similar to Zodiac's, Galaxy Eyes can Xyz summon certain monsters using only itself as material. Using number 62 as the only material, you can Xyz summon Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon, which also has 4000 attack and can destroy 1 face-up card. Full Armor can be used to Xyz summon Galaxy Eyes Cipher Blade Dragon, which can destroy 1 card on the field. You can Xyz summon all of these within a single turn to potentially destroy 2 cards. Another strong rank 8 option is number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy, which can negate 1 spell per turn. You can also detach a material to redirect an opponent monster attack to Hope Harbinger instead. The last rank 8 option in this extra deck is Dingirsu, the Orchist of the Evening Star, which can send a card on the field to the graveyard. We also have some link summoning options. If you need to get the White Son of Ancients or Star Leech Seifert into the graveyard from the field, you can link summon Striker Dragon using a single level 4 or lower dragon monster as material. Using a single level 1 monster, you can link summon Relinquished Anima, which can equip one monster its link arrow is pointing to. So, when you summon a kaiju onto the opponent's side of the field, you can summon it in front of the extra monster zone, then steal it back using Relinquished Anima. If there are at least 3 spells total in both players' graveyards and fields, you can potentially special summon Access Code Talker. This is first done by link summoning Christian Halqifibrax using any monster and any tuner as material. Christian Halqifibrax effect allows you to special summon a tuner from your hand or deck, in this case Sage with Eyes of Blue. Since Sage with Eyes of Blue is a spellcaster, you can link summon Selene, Queen of the Master Magicians, using Christian Halqifibrax and Sage with Eyes of Blue as material. Selene gains a spell counter for every spell in both players' graveyards and fields. You can remove 3 spell counters to special summon a spellcaster, Sage, from the graveyard. Then use Selene and Sage as material for link summoning Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker gains attack equal to 1000 times the link rating of one of the monsters used for its link summoning. Selene has a link rating of 3, so Access Code Talker's final attack will be 5300. Access Code can banish a link monster on your field or in your graveyard to destroy 1 card on the field, and this is not once per turn. Since it took 2 link monsters to link climb to Access Code, you can destroy at least 2 cards before attacking. There are a multitude of other extra deck options, which I will go over in the separate breakdown video. So, to summarize, this is a going second deck. Interrupt your opponent's turn with Maxi and Infinite Imperm. Then on your turn, you contribute their problem monster with a kaiju, and or clear the field with Evenly Matched and Lightning Storm. Special summon Numeron Dragon to OTK, or use some of the other versatile options in the extra deck. Of course, it usually won't be that easy, since Blue Eyes is not exactly the most consistent or powerful deck, but that's okay. Your objective isn't to win every game, just the ones that were winnable. That means reading your opponent's cards, becoming familiar with what different archetypes do, identifying their weaknesses, and not misplaying. If you play perfectly, without making mistakes, I would wager to say that you will win a bit over half your duels in ranked. As long as you win, on average, you can make it to the highest rank. The turn timer is 8 minutes, so you have no excuse to not read your opponent's cards carefully and make the correct play. Now, to end this video, I will be showcasing one duel of this deck in action. Our opponent starts off by activating an effect that allows them to special summon, so I chain Max C. The opponent decides to continue special summoning despite Max C resolving. Now, a duel where the opponent takes the Max C challenge isn't indicative of what a normal duel will look like, but it does give an opportunity to showcase what this deck can do. The opponent summons Nightmare Corruptor Ibli onto our side of the field, preventing us from using infinite impermanence from our hand and also preventing us from special summoning non-link monsters. They also summon Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax, which can't be targeted and basically always wins its first battle. I link summon Christian Halqifibrax to get rid of Ibli, and the opponent responds by negating its effects. I tribute Christian Halqifibrax with Sage with Eyes of Blue's effect to special summon a Blue Eyes monster from my deck.
Ideally, I would have summoned Dragon Spirit of Light, but I can't, since my only copy is already in my hand. I special summon Blue Eyes Alternative and destroy their Linkuriboh, since its effect will get in the way of the OTK I'm attempting this turn. Also, it's the only monster I can target. I tribute their Avramax for a Kaiju, and since I sent Avramax to the graveyard, they spin my Blue Eyes back into the deck. I use Trade-In to try and dig through my deck to find another Kaiju, which I do. Since there's a Kaiju in my opponent's field, I get to special summon a Kaiju onto my side of the field for free. I Xyz summon Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, and immediately Xyz summon Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon to destroy one face-up card. It gets negated with Infinite Perm. I now Xyz summon Galaxy Eyes Cipher Blade Dragon to destroy one card on the field. Now that my opponent's board is clear, I activate Nebula Dragon's effect to special summon itself and Blue Eyes from my hand, then Xyz summon Draglubion. I activate Draglubion's effect to special summon Numeron Dragon and activate its effect. There are 18 total ranks on the field, so Numeron Dragon gains 18,000 attack. Then, I attack for game. If you want to hear more in depth about how to use this deck and how to modify it to suit your own needs, I will have a deck breakdown video also posted on this channel. Otherwise, I hope this shows that it is possible to get to the highest rank with Blue Eyes, and, just like how you came across this video, if you take the time to do a bit of research, as well as gain experience by playing the game, you can truly push Blue Eyes, or any deck you play, to its limits.